So please, thank you very much. Another round of applause for you.
For equality and as we celebrate International Women's Day, we should not forget women and girls with disabilities rights, because we are the most excluded, we are the most marginalized, we are the most discriminated in all spheres of life. And in this gathering today, we are only asking for one thing.
Don't worry, I'll tell you.
Equality. With disabilities given to them. We want the processes and procedures in this country to be normalized, just like we heard from Ibi Kato. We want to see justice for all. We want each for each and equal for equal. We want equality for everyone. So as I conclude my opening statement on this panel discussion, I will give the opportunity to each panelist to introduce herself. Please, let's clap for our panelists.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and to see all your beautiful faces. We all look beautiful. My name is Florence Marcus. I am one of the members of the Board of Trustees of NDW. I am also the founder of Amputee Coalition of Nigeria. I'm a lawyer and I'm a person with disabilities.
Good afternoon once again. My name remains Beatrice Awalamube, popularly known as the Tibetan Disability Community. I remain the FCT Women Leader of JONAPID. You're welcome.
Institutional mechanisms of the rights of women and girls with disabilities. And we're ready to listen to the two brilliant minds we have here, Barrister Florence and Madam Betty. Right now, there is a call for a brief from NGOs or CSOs on the constitutional amendments and electoral reforms. What do you think we need to add or remove in our 99 Constitution?
Just to add 2 words to the topic. The topic you read is mechanisms for the protection and promotion of the rights of women and girls with disabilities. So these institutional mechanisms, the extent to which they are established is for the promotion and the protection of the rights of the women and girls. And the Constitution is the first. It's not really the institutional, it's more of the legal framework that's really, not really, the Constitution itself is not giving us rights, no. The Constitution is confirming the rights that we have, which are inherent, which are part of us. It is the rights that makes us human beings. So whether you talk about chapter 2 or chapter 4 of the Constitution, what we are talking about is a document that is promoting, that is declaring this right that are already part of us. For me, when it comes to women and girls, I feel that the amendment should be specific to gender. When you look at chapter 4 of the Constitution, yes, it talks about the right to life and all that. When you look at the right to dignity, when you talk about dignity, all the issues of rape, assault will come under that. I want the Constitution to be amended to be specific when it comes to gender. Because if the Constitution is specific, there will be no need for other laws that are being promulgated to protect the right of the female folks, like the VAP Act, like the NAPTIC Act, and all that. There may not be need. So I want the amendment to capture specifics on gender. And also, I think it's chapter, okay, let me leave it at that. I think section 44.
Just go ahead. Good day once again. I want to succinctly address the issue of sexual reproductive health rights.
There is a question.
What's the question?
There is a question. What should it be amended? What should the amendment contain?
Okay.
Yes. What do you think should be added?
Yes.
Be added or removed?
Yes. In respect of the question of the constitutional amendment, I think the paramount thing is in the inclusion of rights of women and girls with disability reproductive health rights. Because this constitution has held the ground running without considering the rights of women or persons living with disabilities. In this facet, we are calling for inclusion in all facets of life. So persons with disabilities should not be excluded in any form, including our basic fundamental human rights. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, what I wanted to say before was that, you know, the Constitution is against discrimination on the basis of sex, ethnicity, and all that. But nothing is mentioned about disability. The word disability must be included to say that no one should be discriminated because he's a person with disability. So that disability should be included. Thank you. Because the women with disability are not just suffering discrimination because of their sex and their gender as women. They're also suffering because of their disability.
Yeah, let's clap. Let's give a clap. Yes. The Constitution, the Nigerian Constitution is not inclusive. And we need to make it inclusive. We need to add the voices of millions of Nigerians with disabilities, because we are part of this country. We are citizens, and we shouldn't be treated as second-class citizens. We should be given our rights, the right to vote, right to be voted for, the right to education, the right to be part of decision-making processes in this country. And our panelists did justice to this question. Now, let's move to the next question, which is, we've been talking about universal design. What do you think that Nigeria should do in doing the right thing by ensuring that universal design is given to women and girls with disabilities?
Thank you for that question. In times like this question is timely. When we're talking about universal design, it entails the provision of the disability-friendly accessibility to public buildings, such as improvising ramp, elevator, lifts, and every form. Now, when we're talking of universal design, for instance, in this hotel where we are now, the toilet is not accessible to wheelchair users. Am I speaking your mind? It's not wide enough to take you, and also there is a modern toilet facility for wheelchair users, which all you need to do is to just step a little out of the wheelchair. The toilet is hanging, you can access to use it and help yourself out. Also, there should be also sign language that interprets all directions to the hotel. The way to the toilet, there is a sign, just like it's there already. Then the blind should also, there should be a braille that when they feel it, they actually know that, okay, this way leads to the toilet. Now, there are buildings already in place. We're asking for inclusion and provide provision of ramps. There are buildings already in existence before the Person with Disability Act. We cannot say this hotel should come down today, it should be brought down, because from the beginning, there was no provision for lift or elevator. All they should do is to improvise. Like at the entrance or any of the angle, they can make a makeshift lift from the outside and connect it to all the floors. And this will be a universal standard. Then for the buildings that are yet to be built, of course, they need to consult us so that every issue that has to do with us, nothing about us without us, that's our slogan.
Yeah.
Because most of the round, for instance, I went to Human Rights Commission last week for a program. There is a ramp there, there's a makeshift ramp, but it's not accessible. Because the manner in which they do that ramp, not anybody with wheelchair can access it. It's short and high, and you can't even maneuver it. So they need us to include us in their design, so we can actually say it the way we want it, and it's convenient and accessible to us. And this has to be a universal standard. This is all it talks about. Then, all hospitals, all public hospitals, offices, courts, bank, schools, there should be provision for sign language interpreters for our deaf brothers and sisters. Because if you go to the hospital and you cannot communicate with your daughter, I'm assuring you that nothing has happened. You're going home the same way you come, because communication is not taking place. And the doctor will assume, because you come into the hospital, maybe the only thing can assume is you have headache or stomach pain, of which you have something different that you're suffering from. Because communication has not taken place, there cannot be adequate treatment. So it should be a universal standard. There should be provision of sign language interpreter in all public facilities. There should be provision for makeshift ramp for wheelchair users. There should be provision of braille and sign language interpretation for our visually impaired and deaf persons. Thank you very much.
Okay. I think she has said a lot, but you know, the issue of the universal design is an issue of inclusion, which is also a right for persons living with disabilities. All of us go through, in fact, even this morning, I went to a court and had to climb to the fourth floor, because there was no lift. I had to climb down with pain and with blisters and all that, because there is not. And when you ask them, they say, this is an old building. No, the government of Nigeria can still do something. There are some devices that are assistive. When you go to the Federal High Court, you see that they have something they kept there. In fact, it's supposed to come down. It is attached to the elevator or whatever, to the stairs. You just sit there or stand there and it will take you up and down. But unfortunately, even when they bring these things, they are not functional. So they can actually bring things like this that are functional, that can augment and reduce the suffering of persons living with disability. If it is battery, make sure that you have it enough in Nigeria that it can help. So you don't need to redesign and change some other things. That is when it comes to building and all that. And you know, this issue is not something we just sit when we are sitting in our clusters and we talk about it. No, it is an issue of sensitization. They don't even see us sometimes. And because they don't see us, they don't even want to believe that we exist. So wherever we are, we should make our our presence known. If I'm a deaf person and I'm in court or I'm in a church, I must announce that I'm a deaf person and I need an interpreter. You go to the hospital, you insist that I need someone who will hear me and that can interpret what I am saying. You cannot see, you tell them, no, these things is not like this. We must start to think, start to talk for ourselves. We must start to advocate. Every one of us is an advocate. Wherever, for this accessibility and for this design, whatever, to be made in a way that will be inclusive, we must make our plight known to the necessary quarters. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Florence and Betty. They made mention of so many issues. We need to have access to banking halls, our churches and our mosques, parks and gardens, our own places need to be accessible to persons with disabilities. We need to remind our architects and engineers about the building codes when they are designing a house, an office, an estate, a plaza. They should ensure that they follow the rules of building codes. They should design a ramp in such design. They should make all our buildings accessible to persons with disabilities. And I believe when we have this enabling environment we are advocating for, we will be productive. When the country or the society did not create an enabling environment, who is now disabled?
It's the society that is disabled.
Yes, it's the society. So we really need to keep talking about it and asking government to be accountable on everything they're doing. So, in the Beijing 38 declarations done in 1995, no declaration for women and girls with disabilities. And in the Beijing platform for action, there were 12 critical areas. And I realized that no mention, no platform, no action, no critical area dedicated for women and girls. Was it deliberate? Was it done without women with disabilities? That they could not say, we need to be included in these critical areas. What are your suggestions? Yes, to my panelists. What are your suggestions?
Thank you once again, Vivian. The truth is, in response to your question, are women, in quote, mostly women with disabilities, we've been in our shells, not deliberate. Some of us are not exposed. And with this dangerous and consistent advocacy that we're doing, we're beginning to come out of our shell. You took the giant strike to come out to contest for an election. People were like, oh, why is she doing it? This is too much to do, or the thing to do. But you have set the pace. I am assuring you, come 2023, you will see thousands of women with disabilities coming out to contest for different positions because you have set the pace. And they know that because you have set the pace, they know that they too can do it. It starts from there. Because an average woman with disability, like you know our issue, number one, being born in Nigeria, a woman, automatically makes you a third-class citizen. And you know what I'm talking about? Now, a woman living with disability, triple tragedy. They're a woman with disability, born in Nigeria, not educated, triple tragedy. Now, it takes continuous advocacy and sensitization to these women for them to come out in their shells. Now we are making our voices known all over the world. We are no more hidden. We are visible, are we not? Yeah. We are visible, and as it stands, they can't measure one person without calling law is outer. I can bear witness to that. And women are coming out in their numbers and are very, very visible. Yes, because we are making our noise, we are blowing our trumpets ourselves. So in response to your question, it wasn't deliberate because we're visible. That is the truth.
So what are your suggestions for you?
My suggestion
for government to ensure that these two critical and beautiful platforms, the 38 declarations done in Beijing and the platform for action done by UN Women.
Yes.
Why was it, or why women with disabilities were not included in these critical platforms? So what are your suggestions for UN Women, for government and other critical stakeholders?
So my suggestion is simple. All women listening to me today, we're living in a social media era. You should be up and doing on your social media platform. If any position comes out, key into it. Make yourself available. Make yourself visible. They cannot come to your house and fetch you out. You have to be available to be used. Right, because you two, the giants, try to come out. I still say they should make themselves known, make themselves visible and accessible. Get yourself affirmed with the 21st century provisions.
Thank you.
Okay, when we are talking about equality, we are not just talking about, even when we do the equal sign, it should not just be between women and men, but it also between women and women. And that is where we fall with respect to issues or respect to declarations like this which are made by women. Women must carry each other along, no matter how another woman looks. Whether she's tall, whether she's short, whether she's lying on the crawling on the floor, whether she's on a wheelchair, whether she cannot speak, you must learn to first carry each other along. And it is when the woman folk is strong that you can also now contend, to fight other discriminations against you. My advice, that is my advice to whoever are responsible or are in a place and in the position to make policies that affect women. They should first remember that there are other women. It is not all about you. There are other women who also need, and you have to also consider the special nature of these women and carry them along. Give them opportunities. If you feel, oh, this person is not up to my standard, start mentoring them and carry them along. Understand what their issues are. Talk to them. Involve them. Just like you said, there is not the principle of the SDGs. Don't leave anyone behind. Every woman must be involved. Don't leave enough to leaving the issues that affect women with disability. We must carry them along in all the decisions that we take that affects women. That is my suggestion.
Yeah, thank you. If we need to revisit the 38 declarations and the 12 critical areas for Beijing platform, we need to do that as quickly as possible. Because women and girls with disabilities are excluded. In the 12 critical areas, the last agenda, that's number 12, is girl child. What about girl with disability? What about women with disabilities? These are very sensitive and very important questions. We need to ask them at UN Women, at Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, Humanitarian Affairs, and the international development partners like UNDP, our government, our private sectors and so on. They can influence it. They can decide to gather again because of us. It's very important. We were excluded. That's why I asked the question, was it different? Or were there not women with disabilities in Beijing?